Hey there, fuzzy friends. Ever wonder how we take everyday concepts like hot, cold, fast, or slow and turn them into a fuzzy wonderland of possibilities, all thanks to a process called fuzzification. So, welcome to today's video where we'll be discussing concept called fuzzification. What is fuzzification? Fuzzification is like adding a sprinkle of magic dust to your crisp, clear logic, turning it into something delightfully fuzzy. You see, in the world of traditional crisp logic, things are often black or white, yes or no. But in the fuzzy world, we embrace the gray areas, the uncertain and nuances that make life so wonderfully complex. So let's dive in. Introduction to fuzzification. What is fuzzification? So imagine you are describing the temperature outside. Instead of saying it's simply hot or cold, we introduce fuzzy sets like very hot, hot, warm, cool, cold, and very cold. Each of these fuzzy sets represents a range of temperatures with varying degree of membership. Now, here's where the magic happens. We use membership functions to determine how much each crisp values, like the actual temperature, belongs to each fuzzy set. These functions can take many shapes like triangles, trapezoids, and they help us capture the fuzziness of the real world concepts. So let me put it this way. Painting a picture with fuzzy logic. Think of fuzzification as painting a fuzzy picture of the world around us. Instead of seeing things in a strict black and white, we get to explore all the beautiful shapes of grey in between. It's like looking at the painting, noticing the subtle differences in color, texture, and mood. So, why do we need fuzzification? So, fuzzification is essential because the real world isn't always clear cut. Life is messy, unpredictable, and full of ambiguity. By embracing fuzzification, we can create logic systems that better reflect the complexity of human thought and behavior. So, there you have it, fuzzification. So, this is the introduction to fuzzification. Let's move on. So, definition. What is fuzzification? Fuzzification is the process of converting precise input values into fuzzy values. Like I said, instead of just telling it is hot or cold, we can have too many values in between, allowing for the representation of uncertainty and imprecision in decision making. What is the purpose of fuzzification? It enables the incorporation of linguistic variables and human reasoning into computational models, enhancing the adaptability of systems to real world complexities. So, this is the definition and purpose of fuzzification. So, moving on. Principles of fuzzification. Degree of membership. Fuzzification regulates the degree to which an input value belongs to a fuzzy set, capturing the gradual transition between membership, and non membership. Granularity of values. It allows for the representation of continuous and overlapping values, accommodating the nuances of human precision and languages. Fuzzy inference systems. Fuzzification serves as the interface between crisp inputs and fuzzy rule based systems, enabling the integration of qualitative and quantitative data. So, exploring the fuzzification process, we create with crisp, precise inputs. This is the step one. Think of them as the raw ingredients for our fuzzy set or fuzzy stew. These inputs could be anything from temperature readings and speed measurements to customer ratings and sentiment scores. Step 2. Define fuzzy sets. So this is how the fuzzification works. Step 1 is crisp inputs. You have to define the inputs. It may be anything, customer ratings, speed measurements or sentiment scores. Step 2 is define fuzzy sets. Next, we define fuzzy sets to capture the various shades of meaning inert in our crisp inputs. Instead of just hot or cold, we create fuzzy sets like very hot, hot, warm, cool, cold, and very cold. Like I said earlier, each representing a range of values with different degrees of membership. Step 3 is membership functions. Now come to the fun part. Membership functions. These mathematical tools helps us determine how much each crisp input belongs to each fuzzy set. Picture them as fuzzy goggles that allow us to see the world in shape of grey or shades of grey rather than black and white. Step 4. Fuzzification magic. Here's where the magic happens. We apply our membership functions to our crispy inputs, transforming them into fuzzy values with degrees of membership in each fuzzy set. It's like adding a sprinkle of fairy dust to our logic making it delightfully fuzzy and fun. Step 5 is interpretation and action. Once we have fuzzified our inputs, we can use them in fuzzy inference systems to make decisions, control process, and draw conclusions. This could involve fuzzy rules, inference engines, and defuzzification techniques to turn fuzzy outputs back into crisp, actionable results. So these are the steps involved in fuzzification process. That is defining the crisp inputs, defining fuzzy sets. Step 3 is membership functions. Step 4 is fuzzification magic. And step 5 is interpretation and action. So moving on. So this is the fuzzification process like I explained. Step 1, like I said, crisp inputs. Step 2 is defining the fuzzy sets. Step 3 is membership functions. Step 4, 5, 6, fuzzification magic, interpretation and action, and embrace the fuzzy fun. Advantages of fuzzification. So, fuzzification advantages. Unlocking the magic of fuzzification. Advantage 1, handling uncertainty with ease. Life is full of uncertainties, like predicting the weather or interpreting human emotions. Fuzzifications allows us to navigate these murky waters by capturing the uncertainty inert in our data. Instead of forcing everything into neat little boxes, we embrace the fuzziness and roll with punches. So advantage 2, better reflecting real world complexity. Let's face it, the real world is a messy, unpredictable, and downright fuzzy at times. By fuzzifying our logic, we create systems that better reflect the complexity of human thought and behavior, from understanding customer preferences to controlling industrial process. Fuzzifications helps us to tackle real world challenges head on. Advantage 3, embracing nuance and context. Life isn't always black or white. It's filled with shades of grey. Every color in between black and white. Fuzzifications allows us to capture the nuances and context of our data, whether it's describing the temperature outside or interpreting linguistic variables. Instead of oversimplifying complex situations, we celebrate the richness and diversity of fuzzy world. Advantage 4, improving decision making and problem solving, that is versatility. In a world where uncertainty reigns supreme, making decisions can feel like shooting in the dark. Fuzzification shines a light on a path ahead of proving a flexible framework for decision making and problem solving, whether it's optimizing traffic flow or diagnosing medical conditions. Fuzzifications helps us make better information decisions in face of uncertainty. So these are the advantages of fuzzification. Step 2, fuzzification techniques. So what are the fuzzification techniques? Linguistic variable transformation. Linguistic terms. Fuzzifications involves mapping precise input, that is crisp input values, to linguistic terms such as low, medium, and high, allowing for the expression of quantitative concepts. Like in this process of fuzzification, we discussed on crisp inputs being converted into terms. So here, linguistic variable transformation is a technique of fuzzification where we convert the crisp inputs into linguistic terms such as low, medium, and high. Fuzzy sets. The transformation results in the assignment of membership degrees to input value across fuzzy sets, capturing the inert uncertainty in human languages. Taking an example, converting temperature values into linguistic terms like cold, warm, and hot to represent varying degrees of warmth, that is, varying degrees of membership between the temperature scale. So, fuzzy membership assignment. So, these are the techniques used in fuzzification. So, membership functions. Fuzzifications employs diverse membership functions such as triangular, trapezoid, and Gaussian to model the degree of membership inputs. Degree assignment. Each input value is assigned membership degrees across relevant linguistic terms, reflecting the gradual transition between different quantitative categories. Visualization. Membership functions are often visualized to illustrate the gradient transition and overlap between linguistic terms. So, adaptive fuzzification algorithms. So, this is the adaptive fuzzification algorithm. Dynamic adjustments. Advanced fuzzification technique incorporate adaptive algorithms that dynamically modify membership functions and degrees based on the changing input conditions. Learning mechanisms. Some approaches integrate learning mechanisms to continuously refine fuzzification parameters, improving the adaptability of fuzzy systems. Real-time applications. Adaptive fuzzification is particularly beneficial in real-time decision-making scenarios where input conditions are subject to frequent changes. So moving on. Comparative analysis of fuzzification method. So how to compare the analysis of fuzzification? Number one is performance metrics. Number two is case studies. Number three is selection consideration. So this is how you compare analysis of fuzzification methods. Applications of fuzzification. What are the applications of fuzzifications? So fuzzification applications are as follows. Application 1. Let me generally explain the applications of fuzzification. Automotive systems. Ever wondered how your car knows when to turn on the windshield wipers or adjust the air conditioning? Fuzzifications play a crucial role in automotive systems by allowing vehicles to interpret sensory data like temperature, humidity, and visibility levels. From adaptive cruise control to collision advance or collision avoidance systems. Fuzzifications helps keep us safe on the road. Application 2. Medical diagnosis. In the field of medicine, whether uncertainty is constant companion, fuzzifications offer a ray of hope. By fuzzification or fuzzifying medical data like symptoms, test results, patient histories, doctors can make more accurate diagnosis and treatment decision, whether it's identifying disease risk factor or predicting patient outcomes. Fuzzification helps save life. So this is the second application, the most important application. Application 3. Industrial control systems or adaptive control systems. From manufacturing plants to power plants, industrial control systems rely on fuzzification to keep operations running smoothly. By fuzzification, sensor data like temperature, pressure, and flow rates, these systems can optimize process, detect anomalies, and prevent equipment failures. It's like having a fuzzy guardian angel watching over the factory floor or the factory floor. Application 4. Natural language processing. Understanding human language is no easy feat. By fuzzification makes it possible. In the realm of natural language processing, fuzzification allows computers to interrupt the ambiguity inherent in human speech. Whether it's chatbots, voice assistants, sentiment analysis tools, fuzzification helps bridging the gap between man and machine. So coming to the other application, smart home technology. Welcome to the future, where your home is smart as you are. Fuzzification powers the brains between smart home technology, allowing devices to understand and respond to your preferences and habits. From adjusting the thermostat to controlling the lights, fuzzification turns your humble adobe into fuzzy paradise of comfort and convenience. So moving on. So these are fuzzy pattern recognition, fuzzy feature classification, image processing, and biometric systems, like we discussed. So it also helps in decision support systems. For example, you take financial analysis. In the world of finance, where markets are unpredictable as weather, fuzzification offers a lifetime or a lifeline by fuzzifying market data like stock prices, interest rates, and economic indicators. Analysts can make better informed investment decisions and risk assessments. Whether it's a portfolio management or a fraud detection, fuzzification helps keeping the financial world spinning. Like uncertainty model, risk assessment, and financial forecasting. So adaptive human-machine interface, natural language processing, like we discussed, a natural language processing system. So this is all for today's video. Thank you for bearing with the explanation. This is all for a college assignment. Thank you.